Okay, hello and welcome to part 3 of Let's Play's Riven, the sequel to Myst. And we're going to, we're going to roll our intro and then we'll jump into things, I think. I put chat just in case someone says something. Okay, we're going to... Okay. So we've got our little, map we put together. It's going to be a little hard to, I think we're on Jungle Island. It should be this little big, this thing here. And I probably just go like that. Anyway. So, what we're looking for is the fire marble domes. Um, I don't know if that's it or not. There's a little like fissure there. I think we started there. It could be. There's a bump there, but I don't think that's it. I'm pretty sure it's not here. Well, this might be it. So that would place it, here. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be the fire marble dome. So, um, yeah, it's like, okay, so if we found that, so now we've got go back to the overworld map here, and then go to um, whichever island this is. The L-shaped island. It's this island. So this is Survey Island. Um, okay, so that's just the little, like, that's actually where the maps are. This is a little. I don't see anything that could be a fire marble dome. This could be it, but let's check. Nope, I think this will be the fire marble dome. So let's um. Hmm. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's right here. So I think it would be here. Yeah, it looks about right. Okay, it might be Temple Island. Oh, that could be the boiler. It's probably Boiler Island, actually. Is this? Actually, since it's not on the surface, it's gonna be really hard to tell. So I think it would be here someplace. I don't know how we're supposed to figure out where the one in the here is supposed to be since it's underground. Other than like wild guesswork. Um. Wait, this is. Hmm. Hmm. The um. The age is 233, by the way. Um. Or donation 98. I don't know what the heck that is. Um. Um. Okay. Is it to guess at some of the colors? Apparently. Um. That's weird. Um. Okay, I'm right about which. Or no, wait, no, I'm. Um. eh, Wait, no, it'd be. Wait, okay. Oh, it is. Okay. My first instinct is actually correct here. Um. They have like a little pit where the dome is. Like exactly centered. I mean, what? Oh, that's too big. Yeah. Um. This is Temple Island. Yep, that's Temple Island. Oh, there we go. That's the dome is like right in the corner there. So it would be right over here. This one should be the easiest because it's just a matter of finding where it is on the grid and making sure that everything's lined up properly. So it's right here. So that's 1, 2, 4, 5. Let me just check against the guide to make sure that we're... Yep, everything is kosher. We are smart. We just had to like kind of consult the guide for so we got this, another fire marble dome. This one's completely broken. Okay, this is the one we had to guess. Is this considered Crater Island? No, that would be... What? What? How do you feel what the color is? Oh, the guide might be mistaken. This might be the one that's broken. Um, let's see. Part of a area that we. Um, so gonna be leaving here, but we are going to be turning this thing around. And we warned it not to make us do that. We find the final. Final clues we need to hey, where are you going? Maybe there's some behind the scenes footage about how they did that. Also, that should be physically impossible considering that we're underwater. Let's see these spy cameras. Oh, okay. This is how we figure out which color goes to which symbol. I forgot about that. have no idea how I'm gonna actually do that note. So that's Boiler Island. We don't know what the other symbols correspond to yet. We also don't know which symbol we're going to figure out for process of elimination. Which symbol is on this island. Um, so this one is orange. What the heck? Oh, we already see. It's the work. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but I love. Oh shit! The sound is all messed up for no reason. We'll just have to summon them again. Really, it's a work? Like half whale, half shark? And nothing happens. Okay. Um. this isn't one of the symbols that he has on his thing, so this is cyan or light blue. I'll put cyan for developer reasons. Okay, so this is green. And then we already established, yeah, this is yellow. Wait, this is orange. I think I just didn't push the right thing. Alright, this is orange. What was the other one? I think it's because it's, I think I got it wrong because it's this one's question mark. Damn it. Because I get rotated. Cyan. Nice yellow. What? What? Oh yeah, it's the something in the what? Red, I guess. Okay. 6. There's only 5 islands. Well, I'm gonna put red. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's R6. I think one of these just doesn't conform to a. Okay, everything we need to do. There's also like an Easter egg supposedly somewhere in here. This is a spyglass into Catherine's room, Catherine's prison. this is the duck. And here we get it. It's a fish. I don't think we can actually spin this camera around. Just kind of pacing back and forth. I gotta raise this back up before we can. If our suspicions are correct and the lady who saved us is from the moiety, then they probably have the prison book. Actually, we should look at the fire marble here. I might actually be able to just catch which symbol it is without having to okay. Okay, it's the eye with this is jungle, I believe. Let me. Just so we don't like make a mistake and then suddenly. Oh, now we get to see the other warning siren. Okay. So. Is correctly. Order symbols we should be going for are fish, scarab or beetle or whatever the heck it is. Yeah, this music is so awesome. That's not it. That should be the right Yetram. The Sunner. And the work. I'll use the water. That's really cool. Let me. Sorry, that's. Maybe we wait until. Got a bit of a shiny texture there. So there's the little crystal thing we saw in Gen's journal. An actual linking panel would just show, would not be spinning around. That's just an effect that they do for the games. It probably would be animated, like the water would be rippling and such, but it would. That's what attracted me to this game in the first place, was this visual on the cover. Like, okay, what the hell is that? A geode tree thing. Really fast loading times. Look, it's like birds flying in front of it. Okay, but how do we get there? I don't know actually by translations of what they're saying. If anyone knows the translation, you can tell me in the comments below. We're on probably inside the tree now. This is what the world looks like inside the tree. And occasionally you can see people walking by the windows. There's a few things you can see, particularly just for the windows of the thing in the middle. Did I leave one more cutscene? I don't know. I mean, that's it. There we go.
Katarina e now da saya yapalo. Yapa ay manay yalepo. Eutisay. Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo. Tisay. Why te fulupe?
Felipe. Okay, so we've got that's what we've already read. This is Katrina's journal, and this is our trap book. And depending on where we use it, we might we can get a lot of bad endings. Um, okay. I'm gonna move this back down here. I might actually have to go off to the side because there's something in the journal we had to note. There we go. Anyway, I think we're gonna read this and then we're gonna possibly call it a night again, or call it an installment. Let's say that. I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. Uh, with my sight only partially uh, cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil which was slowly lifting. There was a violent clang, and something appeared. Um, I remember breathing slowly and very deeply, tasting the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. I must have been hit with the dart right away. Um, I thought it was an insect bite at first. I'm trying to remember it all, but it's difficult. Maybe because of the drug. There was a voice, a man I did not. Excuse me. I did not recognize. Stood before me. Rivenese, though he was wearing dunny dress. He seemed to be talking to me, but the poison was already taking effect. A shadow crept in and I fell asleep. Then there were the many voices, but I understood none of them. Like hundreds of people whispering, couldn't make up. I couldn't wake up. No matter, the dream did end, and now to the here with Eddie. It's been so many years. I didn't realize how much I missed her. Like a piece of me that I had forgotten. I'm lost. She's beautiful and so full of warmth, but the years have also left her with a wound which was not there when we were children. I do wish she were more interested. It seems. Okay. I read quickly from my prison. This is, I guess, a note to us. Um, Nela will return you your book, which the moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written by Atris for a very specific purpose. Gen will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, you will still need the combination to release me. Gen keeps it in his office. Then I assume we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done, but don't signal him before I am released. Catherine. It seems like I'm asking all the questions. It's awkward. No one asked me where I've been or what I've been doing. This hurts, but I understand it. Their beliefs are from out of ignorance and oppression. They are a gentle people, but they've had the most had their most their something destroyed, and now they frantically cling to anything that might save them. But why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They misunderstood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I owe everything to them and this place. I thought I would never see them again, and yet I'm here. I've been given the second chance, but a second chance to at what? Saving them, fulfilling their prophecies, being their savior? The moiety, Atris would want me to chronicle all I've learned. I can at least record some of it. It seems that when Atris and I trapped Gen in Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. Two of the Rivenese even witnessed the confrontation with Gen at the fissure, where I linked back to Myst, and where Atris threw himself into the abyss. Of course, they understood little of what they were seeing, but they somehow were able to guess that we had won, that Gen was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god, and that we had trapped him here in Riven. I always hoped they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. Atreus had stripped Gen of his power, therefore Atreus must be a true god. As a god, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. I was transcending into deity and would lord over Riven forever. Thus the moiety, as they call themselves, were formed, a dissident society, um, sworn enemies of Gen. I did not know of their I did not know of their beliefs regarding Atreus and myself until 2 days ago. Eddie was, for some reason, hesitant to tell me. I I can't figure out why. I know she wasn't. She doesn't believe these things. Of course, everyone else assumed that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized it at a recent gathering to which I was invited. I sat at the front of a dimly lit and crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atreus, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive, but I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion, which is the very foundation of their hope and purpose, and which had given them courage to band together and rebel against Gen. Since then, I've learned of other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to free them. Some believe that I will overthrow Gen, others believe that I will bring them to paradise. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight it myself. I love these people. My only real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would never either be their. I'd rather be their slave than their master. Over the years, as Gen's power has become greater and greater, the moiety's members have grown, and they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that he still has not discovered. The moiety, for the most part, have completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that choose against joining them. But I hope they're not sacrificed ritual lambs in order to remove the cancer. Even Father and Garant are still on the surface in Gen's domains, and I long to see them, but something shrouds his face for every time I mention them. A darkness shrouds his face every time I mention them. Since this break took place, they have interfered with the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging one of Gen's constructions or stealing food from the villagers. They were they wear strange masks and costumes, something them scant forays to the island's surface during their scant forays to the island's surface, and take this something very seriously. Uh, Refusing to be seen by anyone outside the moiety, uh, unless they are properly attired. They get much pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by these costumes, uh, calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It was during one of these expeditions that they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gen's uh, squads when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been delivered to Gen immediately. I've no doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was was fooled. Atris is not here. I was at first devastated by this realization. Now I am thankful. He would be in extreme peril here. Also, there is a guest, a quiet inner voice, an echoing remnant that wants him far away. I have witnessed an age dying, gasping its last breath. Today I ventured to the surface to see what has become of this island. I hoped it would not be as bad as the moiety had reported. It was worse. They have become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, but I was devastated. The lips from which the kiss is wrought have fallen words which fell cold breath. The world from which the cry was released has suffered something will suffer death. Okay, to get to the surface we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Before the last of these doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what sort of terror it might invoke in the members of my family who still live on the surface. But I also knew I must keep my identity hidden from Gen's ever vigilant eyes, so I accepted it as well. Then together we swam a short expanse and emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The harsh sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, rich air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. The three of us emerged from our hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of a thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me, as if awaiting my command, but could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more, the feeling was gone. There was numbness. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was long enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once one island, had split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about a half a mile apart. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen as his exclusive domain. Only his monitors and personal militia have been are ever allowed access to them. From my vantage point at the edge of the forest, I could see they're free of the islands. They are stripped of their former beauty and are riddled with Gen's self-absorbed um, constitutions. The moiety really rarely visit these closely guarded places. There is another island which I could not see, as it had evidently crept away to a terrific distance. The moiety are very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they knew it was where the great tree used to exist. The forest is located on the island that the surface dwellers and the moiety still refer to as Riven, but they also still refer to their entire world as Riven. This island is where the village is, which has changed dramatically. It is also the one remaining province of the people, though Gen's influence can be seen everywhere. Of course, I knew the reason for the fracturing of the island. The moiety do not. Gen wrote this place, and it will die as all of Gen's ages eventually die. Because these are pictures of the islands. I feel nothing today. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world, inhabited by people that they are treating me so strangely. They don't know how to relate to a god. I'm still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves, talking of my something during my excursion to the surface, how I walked across the island bold and unafraid. My foray? No. Bravery during, they don't know me. Even Eddie is uncomfortable around me. At times there is no awkwardness, and I am only Katran to her. But at other times I am something else. I am afraid. There's such a great numbness inside me. Today I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gen. I won't feel anything. I'm not even sure of. At least Neela is still close. I am boiling. I am. Gen is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Aitra should have realized this would happen. Of course, Gen would have written all of the materials necessary to the Dunny craft of making books into this age, and probably every other age he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of this land. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his machines. all working in his mad pursuit to become a god, to carry on his noble Dunny cause. So far, he has not um, been able to produce a fully functional book. Atrus has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. They uh, they hang on my every word, though they do not understand them. I am their hope, and now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. It's been a long time since my last entry. It is hard to recognize, but I have found the Starfisher. It is located on an island which Rivenese calls Aleppo, meaning water pool, but which is referred to by the moiety as uh, Alutuam, meaning pool of stars. Having since allowed Atrus to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over a locked viewport, combination to which was acquired by the moiety before my arrival. So this is another uh, thing I need to write down and then interpret. Which is a bit simpler. That is a 5. That is a 1. I believe I actually remember the first 4 numbers very easily. That's 2, 4, 5, 1, 4. I'm the early days, the moiety. In the early days, the moiety seeking an escape from Riven briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they did not, uh, if they had not left it alone. I've instructed them to stay away from it. I'm almost certain that with the decay state of the islands, opening the fissure would be disastrous. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen the Myst book fall from Atrus's hands into the very same space. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, thrown into it so that he could observe their fate. The telescope, which still stands there, is one he had built for these callous experiments. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gen's something pursuit um, zealous. Pre- prevented them from learning their fate. Of Gen's optics. Okay, prevented him from learning their fate. The star fissure beneath the starfield beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atris explained it after he had fallen into it. But much more than that, we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude upon its origins. But the visions um, tell me that it was formed out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose, but we cannot understand. I still remember Atris, his words from his journal. I realized when I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier, the unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during our escape from Riven. The very dagger that stands vertically at one end of whatever it's called has been adopted by the moiety as a symbol of their cause. It is a sacred symbol for them. It's a representation of all of their actions and their um, appreciation of me. To to face this symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into this age, along with all the other daggers. It's strange how such a young religion can be so upending, even to their unbending, even to their own god. I was I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain so much power. The enemy uses this paranoia against them. They are fearful of Gen's symbol and are terrorized by the symbol's use of the work. But they don't um, want to hear this from me. Perhaps my attempts have even caused some of the younger members of the moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. My mere my rare encounters with those who say they follow Gen have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers, but they always flee from me. But I have heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gen. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. I'm the village in the village circles. It is told that this was a primitive art performed by Gen to mark the beginning of a period of retaliation or restitution, at the end of which, if they have proven their devotion to him, they will be delivered into a new and better existence. I will continue to try to reach them. The door is open. Gen is free. Gen has the ability to create working books. In fact, he has written one age before I arrived. He had written one age before I arrived, but he has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I am not sure. Perhaps he has written others. Other news. A few years ago, before the moiety were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gen had intended to destroy. It has been partially written, but did not work. They admit they didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gen's books worked, but instead of correcting the the problem at its source, he burned them. He at the impure. He blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven forest and proceeded to engineer a cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes to heal his book's inherent flaws. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. At last, however, he finished his work and was finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely well hidden. However, for some reason or another, uh, belligerent pride, he has made modifications to the domes which make it um, uh, something that he's obvious that he is using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Perhaps he means to cure lure us into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would blindly swallow this suicidal thingamabob. But he wouldn't know that we have one of his books, The Stolen Burnt World. There is a feasibility of have read Burnt Book Age. It describes would be unsuitable as a new home for the moiety. Must be modified. I will dream. Have requested the group to solve combination that will open the domes. Once open, we can power the burnt book. I do not think Gen will interfere. He will leave the bait. Have begun writing the moiety's age. Now must acquire second book from Gen. There is tension, a strain blurs my vision and nightmares. Nella and Eddie stay close. Much has happened. Almost everything is prepared. We have stolen another book, but I'm concerned. Gen will miss it. We have also discovered the combinations for entering the domes, but we have not discovered the method of powering them. By powering one burnt book with Gen's domes, we will be able to link to this age, but we will only have access to the domes for a short time before we are discovered. Therefore, we can only use the domes once. I must find another way to make the books work. The gateway images in Gen's books are on burnt all seem to share the same sickness if they are not powered. The images are black, are blank. It may be possible to clear the vision with only will right sets us into the moiety age. All is ready. Now all we can do is wait for word from the Moiturists, so whatever it is, who are on the lookout for Gen to power and use the domes. When he does that, we will have access to one of Gen's domes just long enough. After linking to the age which I've written, I only have to locate the book, window, substance, and refuse or adapt it or something. Refine or adapt it, I think is. Uh, Laying this window over the gateway image should heal the books and make them work. This will allow me to use the second stolen book and return to Riven with more of the book windows. We will then no longer have to rely on Gen's clumsy domes. I look at the plans. I sound like Atris. Um, I'm risking my life, but I feel no fear, only anxiety. Perhaps it is the source of my nightmares. The fissure, like a great wound, is opened and it stains the Riven soul with blood. I hold the Moy knife. The voices grow so loud. For their part, the Moiety have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. It is the fulfillment of their prophecy, but they are also fearful and tense. I don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done. It seems too good to be true. I feel like this is all still a dream. We have already evacuated all of the moiety to this new age. It is beautiful and I am pleased. At last my people will live in safety and comfort. They stand under the bare sky, unafraid and dazzled by their freedom. They are happy. They have named it Tay. There's still much to be done. We are not protected yet. The only way to completely safeguard this place is to destroy the book which links to here from Riven, but I do not even know how to bring this up to the moiety. They will be extremely reluctant about destroying their only link to Riven. I share this hesitation. I would be cutting off my own connection, but for their sake, it must be done. I am anxious to know if our activities have aroused Gen's suspicions. If so, we must act quickly. Even so, I feel that now we are impregnable. Tomorrow I will return to Riven to see Gen's reaction for myself. But tonight I finally rest.
Sirapo. Ibuko mo buko wisipo. Na vene. Tapo mo revene beno. Now, Katerina ne. Wisifa polo ya sepe yai.
This is linking book back to where we were. We don't really have anything else to do, so we'll just... That was very fast. And the book back to Tay has disappeared. Probably moved someplace else just in case, probably. I had to imagine, or well, it's also possible that we just need to resolve the puzzle to get it. Checkmate. Hmm. Okay. Just checking. Guess if it needs to be shipped out. Supposed to get it tomorrow, but it hasn't even shipped. Or I haven't gotten a notification about it shipping. Um, so, head back to Temple Island. I'm trying to think of the other islands. Um, which ones have I not like identified the symbols for? I might only need to. Uh-oh. Again? Coming for you again. Must have left already. Okay, I'm not quite sure how to reach the, Hmm. I think I can take that down further. What to see. Or wait. Maybe with that up, I can... There's another elevator beneath it that I can use to go down. Let me try that. Oh, no, that's not this one. Yep, okay. I was right. It's circle, so this is, temple is green. We have cyan, yellow, and orange. So I'll quickly look at the book here. We looked at. Pretty sure we looked at the survey island. Did we look at the survey island dome? Oh, yeah, it was one that was inside the thing. The plateau island. We aren't able to get to the prison island. So we have to do like guesses for two of them. Yeah, we know like two of the three. We have to guess the other two colors. Although we kind of know what they are, but why are we doing this? Is there any use to doing that? Besides, I think it's just if we need to call it down. It's like a skeleton pirate. Texture there. Wait, what? Huh? A jungle red, temple green, Pearl Island, don't know the color. Um, okay. Wait, what? Okay, I'm. I had to guess like. Uh, really, I'm just going to look at the guide because this is all sorts of crazy. Um, there might be a way to do it for the Pluto Island degree. You could uh. It is it's orange. What? Huh? Okay. Yeah. Uh like maybe we could have looked at the symbol on the thing that might be highlighted. No, I don't think How would you be able to tell with the plateau, the survey island? Um, I'm just gonna write it down because from the guide. That's not anything. Um, blue is for sake of brevity. Um, because half of this is guesswork. Um, and trial and error, which I don't want to deal with right now. Um, now how to do this, and the other thing is um, a question. Where the heck is the um? I'm gonna save this. Then what the heck? Um, oh, it's in the map is in the downloads folder. Okay, so got this. We're gonna solve this puzzle, then uh, that'll be it for today. So, okay, this is going to be very, can I open to multiple, pictures and then just have them next to each other? Um, okay, so Prison Island is up here. It's the violet one. Uh, this is Jungle Island, which is red. No, wait, that's the jungle is up down here, so. Wait, no, it's here. Um, wait, Border Island is violet. I'm Prison Island is the blue. Temple Island is what's this one? Okay, let me check it against my blue. Wait, this is. This is what we're on. Oh, yeah, duh. Okay, is there a button? Hmm. Hearing a mechanical humming noise. That sounds promising. It's lit up. It does look like a bit like a pirate skeleton. It looks like a pirate hat and then the skull. I bet it's like a Easter egg or something. I don't know. Okay, so okay. What? Okay, I'm 23, 2, 1. This would be 17 right here. Right, then What? It's 25, 24, 23, and 22, and 21, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, it's all the way over here. There we go. There we go. It's 233. Okay. So that's it for this installment. It's almost 2 hours actually, so we're making good time. We're actually, again, it's kind of a short game if you kind of know what you're looking for. But I am going through like all the steps, like even though I kind of already sort of know a lot of the solutions. Um, but I think that's how maybe how many times I played the game. I think it's only like once or twice, but I read the strategy guide. I believe I copied the strategy guide or like the journal part of the strategy guide into an actual physical book at one point. So I think that probably made me commit it even more to memory. Um, I've only had to actually consult it like a few times since I was to confirm my solutions and to to save time. But anyway, thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. It'll help a lot. I have a move coming up in a couple months, hopefully. Um, if all goes well. Anyway, you can also do all of the things that every YouTuber tells you to do. And until next time, sayonara.